People always prefer mansions as places to live because of their distinctive styles and rich decor. Mansions are prevalent in America. During the Gilded Age and early 20th century, America's obscenely wealthy robber barons, from the Rockefellers to the Vanderbilts, constructed some of the most impressive homes the nation had ever seen. Before moving on, welcome back to Luxbia, where we bring exciting and pretty entertaining videos from time to time. So, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. Let's get straight into the video. Number 7. Rockwood Hall. The most intriguing and substantial mansion is Wood Hall, which is ranked 7th. After emerging from relatively modest beginnings to co-found Standard Oil with his brother John D. in 1870, William Rockefeller Jr. became one of the world's wealthiest individuals within 10 years. The first of the two to construct a home to match their increased social status and newfound money was William Jr. The Rockefeller Scion purchased the Rockwood Estate, which has a view of the Hudson River and is close to Sleepy Hollow, New York, in 1886 for the equivalent of $4.4 million. That's in today's currency, of course. The oil billionaire expanded the property to 1,000 acres without delay and turned the previous home into a magnificent 204-room castle. The Elizabethan style pile, which at the time of its completion was the second largest private residence in the US, originally costed around $100 million. That was when it was adjusted for inflation. For the building project, only the most esteemed designers and craftspeople were employed, including the famous visual artist Frederick Law Olmsted, who designed the magnificent grounds. Ebenezer L. Roberts and the architectural company Carrer and Hastings created the interiors. They were appropriately opulent and included a main hall, a library, a drawing room, a billiards room, and other formal spaces that were all decorated in high-end materials like marble, wood, and onyx. Number 6. Key-Cute. The direction of Key-Cute follows. Consequently, John D. outfitted his estate with the newest must-have luxuries such as private golf course and fancy coach barn packed with glistening automobiles and carriages. Ultimately, descendants of the Rockefeller family lived in the mansion, each adding to its own renown. Nelson Rockefeller, John D.'s grandson, gathered an impressive collection of 20th century art. Following Nelson's passing in 1979, the property was made accessible to the general public. Today, guests can admire Andy Warhol's artworks, Henry Moore sculptures, and a collection of Picasso tapestries, as well as antique cars, opulent furnishings, and immaculate Italian gardens. Number 5. Andrew Carnegie Mansion. We will now talk about Andrew Carnegie Mansions at position 5. The 64-room Georgian Revival Mansion, which was, of course, finished in 1902, which was far fancier than the brief suggested, but it was nonetheless capacious at 56,368 square feet, rivaling the Cornelius Vanderbilt II home in size. The inside of the library was heavily embellished, as this picture of it demonstrates, with beautiful wall panels, ceilings, and lots of luxuries. And of course, there was vintage furniture. The mansion was also a technological marvel in its own right. It was one of the first houses in America to feature central heating, an Otis elevator, and a steel frame. The property's private garden, the biggest in New York, is another eye-catching feature. In fact, Carnegie's decision to purchase outside of the trendy neighborhood was motivated in part by his need to ensure that there would be enough room for a sizable lawn. When Carnegie passed away in 1919, his wife Louise continued to live there until her passing in 1946, at which point it was left to the Carnegie Foundation. From 1949 through 1969, the Columbia School of Social Work had a lease on the facility. The Cooper Hewitt Design Museum then opened there 4 years after the organization donated it to the Smithsonian in 1972. Number 4. Melody Farms. Melody Farms is a really gorgeous structure in a prime position. In the early 20th century, J. Ogden Armour, a meatpacking heir, was the richest person in America and topped Chicago's rich list. The tycoon loved luxury, and so did his wife, Lolita, who was regarded as the best-dressed woman in the Windy City and had an impressive wardrobe that comprised 100 pairs of white shoes. The power couple were in dire need of a flashy home. The showpiece residence, Melody Farms in Lake Forest, Illinois, cost $305 million when it was finished in 1908. The 1,000-acre state serene gardens grounds were created by renowned architecture firms Ossian Dix and Jens Jensen, while the equally renowned Arthur Hewen is responsible for the main house's Italian Renaissance design. No expense was spared for the state. The 18th century French antiques, elaborate columns, cornices, and paneling, gold doorknobs, 20 marble fireplaces, a carved walnut Georgian chamber moved from a London townhouse, and upscale amenities such as a bowling alley were all featured in the home. Number 3. White Marsh Hall. We'll talk about another amazing structure in America next. Stotesbury sought the greatest antiques and artwork for the interiors from around Europe, even enlisting the aid of an English lord to help him locate the finest examples of English and French portraits and 18th century French furniture. The banker maintained an opulent lifestyle at the mansion, hosting numerous glittering parties there and wowing his distinguished visitors. Henry Ford stated after visiting White Marsh Hall that it was a terrific experience to observe how the privileged live. Eva Stotesbury moved to her Florida estate after Stotesbury passed away in 1938 because she could no longer afford the $1 million annual maintenance. The abandoned mansion was utilized to hold thousands of works of art from the New York Met Gallery during the early stages of World War II. White Marsh Hall was purchased in 1943 and was used in a laboratory, but in the 1960s and 70s it fell into disrepair and was tragically destroyed in 1980. It comes as no surprise that it is now regarded as one of America's greatest architectural losses. Number 2. Biltmore. Biltmore is the second most gorgeous mansion. The most stunning Gilded Age palace of them all was constructed for Cornelius Vanderbilt II's brother, George Washington Vanderbilt II. The massive 178,926 square foot home, which was built starting in 1889 on 700 separate parcels of property totaling 125,000 acres in picturesque Asheville, North Carolina, required the hiring of almost 1,000 people. Richard Morris Hunt, the box art designer of the Statue of Liberty pedestal, the Met Gallery's facade, and the Great Hall, created the majestic Chateauesque design for the 250-room estate. He gave it the name Biltmore in honor of the Vanderbilt family's native Dutch town of De Bilt. The exceptional home's ultimate bill in 1895 came to a staggering $1.6 billion in today's money. George Washington, a passionate art and antiques collector, filled the 4-acre mansion with priceless artwork and decor from 15th through the 19th centuries. There were 35 bedrooms, 43 bathrooms, and many formal reception spaces to furnish for the pampered heir. Number 1. Cornelius Vanderbilt II House. Are you now prepared to view the most stunning mansions that are completely furnished? So the Vander family, which also built more than the fair share of extravagant houses with the money they made from shipping and railroads, is the other prominent dynasty of the Gilded Age aside from the Rockefellers. For instance, Scion Cornelius Vanderbilt II built the largest and most opulent house in the Big Apple. The stunning chateau-style estate was built on Fifth Avenue's Millionaires Row in 1882, and in the early 1890s, it underwent a significant expansion. Cornelius spent millions on the renovation, employing 600 artists to tool around the clock on the massive undertaking. By 1893, the extended property, which had been molded after Francis Chateau de Blois, had been finished. It included 130 rooms, including a regal 65 by 50-foot ballroom, a salon in the manner of Louis, and even a smoking room with Moorish influences. The dining area also had artwork by renowned artists including Constable Rizzo, Millais, and others. That was all about today's video. For more amazing videos, stay connected with us and we really appreciate you watching our videos. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button so you can get notified whenever we upload new videos. See you later. Bye-bye.